100% that we will enter a time, and I think you can measure it in a small single-digit years, not decades, where synthesizing audio, images, and video will be easy as picking up one of these things and recording something. And that is coming, and we should think very carefully about how we're going to distinguish the real from the fake. My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California, Berkeley. I am a computer scientist and applied mathematician by training, and I specialize in analyzing digital audio, images, and video to determine if they're real or not. Deepfake is an umbrella term to refer to manipulated media, whether that's audio, image, or video, or even text these days. And the common thread in that is, of course, we have been manipulating media for as long as we've been recording media. But the deepfakes now has turned over that manipulation and full-blown synthesis to machines, to machine learning or artificial intelligence. So now a deepfake looks something like this. I upload 60 seconds of your voice into a machine, and it clones your voice, and then I can type, and it will generate audio that sounds like you. Or I can go over to a web server and say, please give me an image of John running down the street chasing a bear. Or I can take your likeness and insert it into a video of Nick Cage in your favorite movie. And the common thread in all of those things is that the machine is doing the heavy lifting of the editing and the manipulation that used to be in the hands of the few. And so what's important about deep fakes is not, oh, we can manipulate audio, images, and videos. We've always been able to do that, but we've democratized access to technology that used to be in the hands of the few and now are in the hands of the many. So let's talk about the harms that we are already seeing and then the harms that I think will continue. So first and foremost is non-consensual sexual imagery. And this is primarily affecting women, where people are taking women's likenesses, whether that's a politician, a journalist, a professor, somebody who's just attracted unwanted attention, and inserting her likeness into sexually explicit material, and then carpet bombing the internet with that as a weaponization. And that is happening, and it is awful, and we need to do something about it. We have seen a startling rise in fraud, where people, you are getting phone calls now from what sounds like loved ones saying they're in trouble, they've been kidnapped, they've been arrested, they've been injured, send money. And it sounds like your loved one, and you panic and you send money. And so the fraud cases are on the rise. Of course, the disinformation is now on the rise. You now can clone the president's or a candidate's voice. You can create images of Donald Trump being arrested before he was indicted. You can create audio of Joe Biden saying something inappropriate on a hot mic. And so the disinformation campaigns are now going to be fueled with generative AI, audio, images, and videos. And when you balance those two things, this is sort of fun. We get to see some cool videos on TikTok and YouTube with non-consensual sexual imagery, fraud, and disinformation campaigns designed to disrupt our democracy. You start to have to ask some hard questions about this technology. We have done studies, and we can tell you that images of people that are synthesized by deepfakes are now indistinguishable from real photos. We've passed through the uncanny valley. We've not done those same studies on videos, and I think videos have not quite passed through the uncanny valley, but they're getting there. I can tell you that the audios, the cloned voices, are through the uncanny valley. It is very difficult to tell the difference between a cloned Joe Biden voice and a real voice, particularly if it's short and you're moving fast on social media and you're listening on your phone or looking on your phone where you don't have a lot of time. And so you have to, when you ask about this question of realism, you also have to put into that equation, we move fast on social media, we're typically on our phones, and we have biases, right? We have confirmation bias. If I don't like Joe Biden, then something that is negative to Joe Biden sort of resonates with me. If I don't like Donald Trump, then something that's negative to Donald Trump resonates with me. And so our human psychological biases intervene. The speed intervenes, but also the content is and is becoming increasingly more realistic, where the average person will no longer be able to tell the difference. The realism of the sounds and the images and the video continues to increase. The ease with which you can create it continues to increase. And the ease with which you can spread it online, of course, continues to increase. And so what is happening are two things. One is the fakes are becoming more and more real and more difficult to discern, particularly at the speed at which the internet works. But then the thing you have to worry about is also that when we enter this world where any audio, image, or video can be manipulated, well, then how do you believe anything? Anytime I see the president speak, or a candidate speak, or a CEO speak, or a reporter speak, there's this lingering doubt. And this is what's called the liar's dividend. That if, in fact, Joe Biden is caught on a hot mic saying something inappropriate, he has plausible deniability at this point. He can just say, look, it's not me. And so that's really worrisome when we can't trust the things we read, see, and hear online.